Hi everybody, this is the Patriot Hood, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hood, and welcome back to the Patriot Hood. Hope you like this video and hit that subscribe button. What a wonderful press conference President Trump had today with the media down in Mar-a-Lago. Talked about a lot of stuff, a lot of new stuff. A lot of news was broken during this press conference. I hope you had a chance to watch. I watched the entire thing. And it was just great to watch. He's so good talking to the press. It's too bad that the other side can't do that and be very blunt, but not just blunt, but be honest and just sort of tell people how he thinks and how he feels about stuff. But I got so much stuff here. This is all from the Gateway Pundit. Headline: Breaking: President Trump declares he is changing the Gulf of Mexico's name to the Gulf of America. What a beautiful name, he said. That was the big news. I mean, that's one of the many big things that he said. President Trump held his first press conference on Tuesday after being certified the winner of the 2024 presidential election by Congress on Monday. I did not think at any point that there was going to be a problem on Monday. I thought that they kind of shot that load 4 years ago. They weren't going to pull that nonsense again. And I think the Democrats are so reeling from what has happened here. I think they have a very difficult time. They're just taking it. And I think that they look at it, just come back in 4 years and rebrand themselves a millionth time. But I don't think there'll be any problems going into the inauguration at this point. During his press conference from his home in Mar-a-Lago, President Trump made headlines when he announced he was changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico. Quote, "We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name, and it's appropriate. It's appropriate." But that ought to make a few headlines today. Amazing. What an amazing start to this speech. Now this press conference was interesting because of the fact that this was very much a foreign policy kind of thing. And we know that he's talked very openly about the Panama Canal. I did a video on that a week or so ago, whatever it was. And of course, now Greenland, he's looking at it as, basically a national security issue and a national security concern, particularly the canal. As you know, Theodore Roosevelt had that canal built in the early 1900s, over 100 years ago. And he wanted to get the Navy from one ocean to the other ocean. Didn't want to go all the way down to the South Pole, to the tip of South America to the South Pole. He didn't want to do that anymore. So he wanted to have a shorter route from the Atlantic to the Pacific, and 38,000 people died building this thing. 38,000 Americans died building this thing. And unfortunately, that dope Jimmy Carter, and we call him a dope, because he was a dope. He was a lousy president. I think it's rather interesting. I should say it. I think it's rather interesting. He did get a chance to see Trump get to be elected president again. At least he got a chance. He voted against him, but at least he was able to see him get reelected for the third time this year. But God bless him. Godspeed, Jimmy Carter. And this is what Trump had to say about the canal and Greenland as well. Trump refused to rule out military action to secure Greenland and the Panama Canal, cited economic and national security concerns. President-elect Donald Trump on Tuesday stunned reporters by refusing to rule out military or economic coercion to secure U.S. control over Greenland and the Panama Canal. Speaking at his Mar-a-Lago residence, Trump doubled down on his assertion that these strategic locations are vital to the U.S. economic and national security interests. When pressed about whether he could rule out military or economic coercion in acquiring these areas, Trump's response was characteristically direct. "No," Trump said, "you're talking about Panama and Greenland. I can't assure you of either of those two. But I can say this, we need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military. I'm not going to commit to that now. It might be that you'll have to do something. Look, the Panama Canal is vital to our country. It's being operated by China. It's not being operated by the Panamanians And as Trump is saying that, he's right on the money. When it comes to this kind of stuff, he knows what he's talking about. And it's funny, nobody's talking about this. Amazing. He's talking about it. People are now responding to it. Trump's remarks highlight concerns over Chinese influence in the operation of the Panama Canal, a critical waterway connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. In December of 2024, President-elect Trump expressed concerns over Panama's management of the canal and China's involvement. He criticized increased fees for U.S. vessels and suggested that the canal could fall into the wrong hands, implying potential Chinese control. Chinese companies manage two of Panama's 5 principal ports, notably a subsidiary of Hong Kong-based C.K. Hutchison Holdings operates ports at both entrances of the canal. That's a problem, because they could cut off any ship trying to get through the canal. That's a major problem. Additionally, Chinese firms have funded major infrastructure projects, including a new bridge over the canal, with investments exceeding $1 billion, according to Newsweek. This is a big problem. I didn't realize it was this bad. Trump also reiterated his long-standing interest in acquiring Greenland, a self-governing territory of Denmark. The Arctic island is rich in natural resources and holds immense geopolitical value due to its proximity to the Arctic Circle and the presence of U.S. military assets, including Thule Air Base. Quote, "We need Greenland for national security purposes," Trump said. People don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it. But if they do, they should give it up. Now, before I forget, the one thing about Greenland that has to be understood is that the United States was negotiating on buying Greenland back in the 40s. That President Harry Truman was in negotiations trying to pick up that territory. And the people in Greenland, they turned it down. And I guess Denmark turned it down. So now here we are, 70 years later, 80 years later now. And finally in this video, to show how serious President Trump is in acquiring Greenland, he sent his son, Don Jr., to Greenland to talk to the people, sent an envoy there just to say, "Hi, how are you?" But Donald Trump Jr. and Trump allies arrived in Greenland amid Trump's proposal to purchase the island. Donald Trump and other Trump allies have traveled to Greenland on an autonomous territory of Denmark amid renewed interest from President-elect Trump in acquiring the Arctic island. Trump posted the following video of their arrival, commenting, "Don Jr. and my reps landed in Greenland." As Gateway Pundit reported on Monday, Trump announced that a delegation of Donald Trump Jr. and various representatives said Trump planned to travel to Greenland as Trump has signaled his desire to purchase the territory for the United States. According to a Greenlandic government official, Trump Jr.'s visit is personal, with no planned meetings with government officials or political figures. It's a way just to say hello and just get a feeling of how the people feel. However, there are unconfirmed reports that he might meet with Erik Jensen, head of Greenland's ruling party, the Associated Press reported. According to Fox News, Trump Jr. intends to create video content for his podcast during the trip. Greenland's Prime Minister Mute Egede has recently emphasized his desire to pursue independence from Denmark, its former colonial ruler, as Trump ramps up. Previously, Prime Minister Egede pushed back on Trump's proposal to purchase Greenland, saying the island will never be for sale, but it was for sale 80 years ago. Trump posted photos from the trip showing Trump's incoming presidential personal official head, Sergio Gore, his son Don Jr., and Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, standing in front of Greenland's statue of Hans Egede, as well as photos of Don Jr. with locals wearing MAGA hats. That's very funny. Don Jr. and my reps landing in Greenland. The reception has been a great day, and the free world needs safety, security, strength, and peace. It's a deal that must happen. MAGA, make Greenland great again, said Trump in an early post when the group arrived. I never thought that we'd be talking about the Panama Canal and Greenland. That this new term coming up. This is I'll tell you, the guy's always thinking, he's always for it. Now, if he's saying this stuff, this must be a really serious situation, especially down the canal. If he is trying to take control of the canal again, then it must be really, really bad down there. Also, as a way to sort of keep an eye on what the hell's going on down there with all these invaders coming up. But boy, oh boy, it tells you how bad things are down there. To be honest with you, that he is concerned by it. And the Chinese are down there. The Russians are down there. The Chinese are up north, by the way, in Canada. I haven't talked about Canada in this video. Now he wants to make them the 51st state, or at least have some kind of better relations with Canada. Getting rid of the border is a big thing. But we'll see. That might be a little more difficult to do. We want all these liberal crazies into our country. We got enough of them here in New York and other states. We don't need that. We don't need that. But we'll see where this takes us. So, thank you for watching this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Patriot Hut, and I'll see you later.